Yeah, what you got to lose? Just keep pushing through. Cause what you got to lose? Got to lose, 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 got to lose.
Hey guys, how we going? It's time to do my latest YouTube video. Been a little bit slack lately, obviously pretty busy times, but it's such an honour to have one of my good friends, actually my coach who got me into bodybuilding. I still remember the first day I walked into the gym at City Fitness Norfolk where we both work about 7 years ago. There was this big guy, Richie, eating all this food, chicken and salad, and that's how I first met you, mate. And it's been such a cool ride since. But Richie, maybe just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about maybe how you got into the personal training industry, some of the awesome achievements you've done.
Sounds cool, mate. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks, guys. Basically, a similar sort of story as Timmy. I had a bit of a mentor who ended up being a really good mate of mine as well, who was my first coach, Mike Debenham. Got into my first show, and basically, yeah, it's exactly the same sort of story. Just had a passion and a love for the sport and the industry, and became a personal trainer at the end of it. Did my first IFBB bodybuilding show in 2002, and 18 years later, just finished with winning the world title last year and turning pro.
So awesome, man.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, similar sort of passion and love, same as you, mate. Just yeah, loving it. Still eating the chicken, still eating the rice. Not a lot much changed, but yeah.
I'd love to talk about some of your competitions that you've done, Richie. You've done so many. Maybe you just tell us maybe some of your highlights of some of the shows you've done. I think there was one year you did a crazy amount of shows in one year. I'm sure people would love to hear about that.
Yeah, I had a really big year in 2004. Ended up doing 11 shows, which is just a little bit crazy.
11.
So yes, my first show was April that year and finished in December with the Universe title in Spain. I don't think it was in Alicante in Spain. So yeah, massive year. A little bit too much, wouldn't recommend it, but it was a big achievement. It was actually one of my best years of bodybuilding actually. Seeing so many different places and meeting so many different people. It was pretty awesome. But obviously the highlight it was basically last year in Mexico, winning the WFF Extreme World Championships, and then turning pro and getting 6th place in the pro class.
That's awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, winning Worlds, that's such an achievement. And obviously you've built up such a great name for yourself. I know at City Fitness you would hands down be the busiest trainer, most experience. Maybe you could talk about a little bit about some highlights of some of your clients. I know some of your clients have been with you for about this crazy amount of years.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate that I've had a lot of loyalty and stuff. About 3 years ago too, I've also gone through a massive back surgery and had my spine reconstructed basically. So the loyalty and stuff of all those years sort of came back in tenfold, and they ended up being so loyal to us. But yeah, there's so many highlights with so many different clients and stuff, and that's what you love to doing.
How many years is the longest client been with you, Richie?
We're 18 years, so
18
yeah,
years,
18 years since September just gone,
yeah,
so
that's
which is pretty cool. Yeah,
that's so awesome, mate. And going ahead, have you got anything maybe in a couple of years or kind of bodybuilding wise you're kind of aiming for, or any events coming up?
Yeah, most definitely. We're depending on the COVID situation around the world, obviously, and obviously travel restrictions, but we have tentatively in Thailand. We have the Worlds next year in June. The Universe in June, and then the Worlds in November. So hopefully we can gun for that, but just the way things are, it's a little bit tentative. But definitely we'll find a show. Hopefully over in Australia, we can go over there and smack heads with some of the Australian boys, which would be really cool.
Awesome, man. And just taking a little bit away from the bodybuilding side of things, obviously when it comes to nutrition, there's so many different views on there, and there's so many different diet plans, and just for an average person who's trying to lose a bit of weight, or what would you say in your opinion of all the years that you've done work with clients, done competitions yourself, what would you say someone who wants to just lose a bit of weight, what would be the best in your opinion?
Oh, absolutely. There's so many different types of people and body types and how things work, and there's a lot of ways to skin the cat, so to speak. But the basis is basically whole foods. If you have whole, complete foods, good proteins, good fibre from your vegetables and stuff, and then it basically just comes down to a sort of calorie deficit, depending on other issues. We don't want any metabolic syndromes and all that sort of stuff, because unfortunately there's a lot of that out there, and a lot of gut issues and stuff like that that have to be addressed first. But the basis is basically just good, clean, healthy food that's not processed, and then obviously not consuming extra calories.
Yeah, awesome. And just to say a young guy who's about 16 or 17 who's quite slim, quite skinny, he's just walked into the gym, what's the best way, let's say reps and sets kind of way for him to put on muscle and try put on, obviously eating a lot of food is probably a good point.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. Let's say, unfortunately,
Yeah.
same with losing weight. You know, it's
Yeah.
just as hard, if not harder, to gain muscle tissue for somebody of a leaner structure.
Yeah.
So yeah, food is a massive part of it. But definitely keeping on those hypertrophy ranges. You know, so 8-15 sort of reps, going
8-15,
pushing to that sort of failure.
Yeah.
But you also want to have those variables. Like
Yeah.
the body adapts and changes so quickly that you need to address that sort of periodization, and at least every 4 weeks or so, make sure you're changing things up in terms of the stress load.
Yeah, that's awesome, Richie. And maybe just talk about a little bit, like, obviously I saw what you went through a couple of years ago, that back situation,
Yep.
and how that's probably helped you come to where you are now. Obviously, it was a very tough time, you couldn't train much. Someone who loves, obviously you guys can see how big this guy is, he loves to train, loves to work out. Do you think, obviously, it was such a hard time for you, but do you think there's a lot of good things that you took out of that and kind of strength you, to move on?
Yeah, once again, I've always sort of stated that the bodybuilding and especially weight losses are pretty much a mind game too as well. The mind's always wanting to have those nice foods, and same within the bodybuilding. The mind plays a lot of tricks with you, so that mental strength of going through a situation like that really sort of empowered me a bit more, and it showed that how much control you can have and what you can actually achieve, even though you are going through something so mentally challenging. I definitely don't want to sit on the couch too long, and basically I spent a year and a half basically not moving. It was pretty mentally draining.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, Richie. Well, we appreciate your time. Is there anything just to finish with, anyone you want to thank, or any of your sponsors, or anything you want to say just before we go there, bud?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Well, thanks to yourself for bringing us on as well and being a great client. Got some great sponsors out there: Supplement Solutions, Pure Aesthetics, Priority Projects, Diet Decorating as well. They've always been really supportive. Most of them are loyal clients as well, and their loyalty has been amazing. To my long-time clients, thank you very much, and we appreciate all your loyalty and support.
And thank you, Richie, so much for coming on. And anyone in the Christchurch area, Richie's actually one of the head judges for WFF Never. So he's been in the game for a long time. So anyone want to get up and do their first show, he's actually my coach, and maybe I'm a bit biased, but I think he's incredible when it comes to posing, nutrition, and pushing you hard. I still train with him once a week, me and Mark Rain, and we love it. So anyone that Christchurch kind of region, with our Sleep Fitness Northwards, so definitely you can hit us up to get Richie's details, or private. So thank you so much, mate.
Awesome.
We appreciate it. See you guys later.
Later, guys.